Drinking buddies. So I just got back from a trip to Texas and I wanted to share with you my bottle haul that I got while I was there. And I wanted to taste a really unique, weird whiskey that I've never heard of before. And we're also gonna look at a couple antique bottles I picked up while I was there.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So I think we got to start by getting something to drink here, and I found this at Total Wine while I was there, and it is Mexican whiskey. It's not something I've seen before. I just saw the little shooter bottle of it, and I thought this will be a great thing to test out on the channel. It's called Abasolo, El Whisky de Mexico. It's 100% ancestral corn. And it's got a rich and smooth whiskey crafted using the finest something corn that I can't read. It's 86 proof. I liked that it wasn't 80 proof, and it's 100% corn. Let's see how it tastes. I don't think this will be very close to bourbon. Might be a little bit more closer to maybe closer to mellow corn in flavor. All right, Abasolo. Oh, it smells kind of like tequila. It's got an agave thing going on. So, kind of like a salty agave, little smoky. That's interesting. That is very interesting. It's so unique and so different, I don't know how I feel about it off the bat. But tasting notes, it's got like cornbread, and agave is a big flavor on here, I'm not kidding. There's a little bit of an oak thing there and a little bit of a smokiness. And it does have a little bit of an astringent thing on the finish that I'm not crazy about, kind of a chemical-y finish. But I'll kind of keep sipping on this while we talk about the bottle haul and these antique bottles I got, and maybe I'll come up with something else. So I got a couple cool antique bottles. This is a old Beam bottle, but it is not Jim Beam bourbon. This is called Beam Kentucky Whiskey A Blend. And it says it's bottled by the James A. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont Beam, Kentucky. And if you look closely on the back, it says 72.5% grain neutral spirits, 27.5% straight whiskey. Weird. This is 80 proof, and it's not even whiskey. It's 72.5% grain neutral spirits. So this is 72% vodka and with some whiskey blended in. I'm assuming this was probably to do with the fact that during the 70s and 80s, the clear liquors really took over, and maybe they were just trying to capitalize some of that market. That's when a lot of the distilleries that had made 86 proof products for so long switched to 80 proof. And maybe this was an attempt at trying to capitalize on some of that market. And I like the deer on it. It's a very, very cool bottle, and I believe it was from my family. So someone in my family had this. We're not entirely sure who, but Beam deer bottle, pretty cool. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it up on the bar here. Next one, and I find this one to be really cool. So it is a porcelain bottle. Upon closer examination, it's an Old Fitzgerald Leprechaun bottle, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 100 proof. It is Old Fitzgerald Kentucky bonded bourbon, so it's bottled in bond. And it's from 1968. And it's Old Fitzgerald Collector's Gallery. And it says right on the bottom, Stitzel Weller Distillery. So cool. I'm a big fan of St. Patrick's Day. I believe this was purchased for my grandma, who was a big Irish lady. She was an Irish lady, and she was a big fan of St. Patrick's Day and liked a lot of decorations like this. And I believe this was purchased to give to her. But yes, so Old Fitzgerald Kentucky bonded bourbon bottles. Obviously, these are empty. These are just antique bottles. I don't have anything to taste out of them, but I did have one day where my mom was pretty busy doing a lot of other things, so I was able to stop into quite a few different stores, and I got all of the stuff you're gonna see in one day. I didn't get it all in one store. I'll show you a little bit of inside some of those stores. There was one common denominator, and that is that Weller Special Reserve is everywhere in Texas. I had thought maybe that might mean I might be able to find some other Weller bottles, but it didn't happen. I did see Weller Special Reserve in 375, 750, and 1.75 liter bottles everywhere. So that was kind of cool to see. And they're all at retail, so very, very well priced. One of the things that I really wanted to share, to experience while I was there, is get some Texas whiskey. So I wanted to get some Texas whiskey. So my first mission was to get this Still Austin cask strength, not available in Arizona. I had a pour of it last year when I was in Texas and I really liked it. So I really wanted to get this bottle when I was there. That was one of my missions. This is a really solid bottle. I have only had it the one time, so I can't really remember the tasting notes, but really solid cask strength bourbon, and it's got that unique Texas quality to it as well. Next up, I picked up this bottle called Post Oak Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in new barrels. So this is a double oaked version of the Post Oak Straight Bourbon. Post Oak Straight Bourbon was sitting at 80 proof. I did taste it there at Total Wine. There was somebody from the distillery that was giving out samples, and for being an 80 proofer, it didn't taste thin, but it's still 80 proofer. But this one was a double barreled product, and it's sitting at 90 proof, and I thought I would give it a chance, just take a flyer on it. This one is a super small distillery. You guys probably won't be able to find this in your area. Sounds like it's only in the Houston market right now. But hey, maybe it's an up and coming thing, and I can tell you guys about it before it takes off. So for now, we're gonna save this for another video where we do some Texas tasting. But I have one more Texas bottle that I got while I was there. I'm not a big fan of the Balcones True Blue bottle, but everything else I've tasted from Balcones I did really like, and I've not had this one. It's called Brimstone, and it just sounded so interesting. So it's made from roasted blue corn, which, like I said, I didn't really like the True Blue, but this just sounds interesting. It's pot distilled Texas shrub oak smoked. So this is a smoked whiskey, so maybe I'm gonna get some Del Bach type vibes off this. Maybe I'll get some Isla Scotch type vibes off of this one. And this one's sitting at 53% alcohol. It's at 106 proof, so I'm excited to try this one out. Next up, I got a few bottles that I just can't get in Arizona. It doesn't seem like Woodinville Rye has made it to Arizona yet, but this is 100% rye whiskey from Woodinville. I love Woodinville, 90 proof. Really excited for this bottle. We will be eventually tasting this on the channel for sure, because I love Woodinville. Next up, a bottle that I can't get in Arizona that might not be rare to you if it's available in your area, but they just don't come to Arizona, is anything from Bardstown. This is the Fusion Series, and it's 47.45% alcohol and 94.9 proof. It's 56% 4-year-old bourbon, 14% 3-year-old bourbon, and 30% 11-year-old bourbon. And one of those is a 4-grain. The 3-year-old bourbon is a 4-grain. So that blend, this is Fusion Series number 5. I did look for the other, I looked for the Discovery Series and I just couldn't find those. But I did find this one of the Fusion Series, and I look forward to trying that as well. All right, now let's see. Last up is something really cool that I didn't ever think I would be able to find because it's so long gone. And there was a whole shelf of them. And I thought that was so sweet, and I'm so happy that I found it. And that is FAE 01, last year's special edition limited release from Maker's Mark. I have the FAE 02 I love it, and it was so cool to be able to find the FAEO1, something that's not been around for months. And you know, the FAEO2 in my area, if it hits the shelf, it's selling out in an hour. Meanwhile, this is still sitting there in this store, and it was retail. So I'm really excited to try this one. I'm sure we'll be doing a video with this at some point. And I think the next thing that I'm gonna have to do for the channel is I'm gonna have to do a tasting of 4 Texas bourbons, or 4 Texas whiskeys. I also got the Balcones single malt, and that's 53% alcohol as well, 106 proof. So in an upcoming video, you'll see me do a blind between these 4 Texas whiskeys that I picked up. You know, I'll probably be able to tell the difference between them because they're so unique, but I just think I want to remove the labels and just try them out and see what I think of the bottles. So yeah, had a lot of fun. I got to visit with some family and, you know, did a lot of work while I was there, but was still able to sneak away and do some whiskey hunting. So drinking buddies, that Texas video will be coming soon where we taste the 4 Texas whiskeys blind. And in the meantime, you know, happy hunting out there. I hope you find a bottle that you love, and I hope you are able to get it at a reasonable price. And hopefully you find you know, a total unicorn like this Maker's FAEO1 that's just not even available anymore. Yeah, cheers guys. Yeah, I don't like this. Not a big fan.